What's up guys, in this video we're going to be installing the Mangoal direct fit dash cam in my mom's 2022 I believe Lincoln Aviator, and it will fit right up here behind this mirror, totally fitted to where you won't even notice there's a dash cam there. And that is extremely important for this car because I would like my mom to have a dash cam for safety reasons, but she really does not want a camera hanging down in the way, getting in her vision. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this, and I will show you what I mean by having a direct fit dash cam, because they have over 800 models of these to fit 800 different cars. So they have probably anything that you would need for any modern vehicle with a fitted dash cam for your rearview mirror here. So let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box. It just slides out like that, and here you can see we have some of the instructions regarding the app. That's about the GPS module, and then here's the actual user manual with some zip ties and quality certificate. And then if we take the actual dash cam out, you can see here all the wires, but it is a direct fit dash cam that will fit under the rearview mirror like this, so it'll just look like a module that's part of your car and not just something that hangs down. You can see if we pull off this little protective piece, if it will focus, there's the camera there, SD card slot, and then some of the control buttons on the bottom. And then further looking into the package, we've got a trim tool to help with installation. And then it comes with a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, which that's very nice, so you don't have to buy one. Here's some of the cables here needed, and then this right here is the GPS module, and then we have some, looks like extra mounting 3M tape here for the windshield, but then this is the bracket that will stick up underneath your rearview mirror that the camera clips to. And then the last thing in the box here is the rear dash cam. This actually comes with a front and rear dash cam. So here's the long wire and mount for the rear dash cam. So let's go ahead and get started with installation. In the included instructions, they even have you download, this is the app you'll be using to actually get the footage off of your camera and able to attach to it to Wi-Fi. But if you get the Skycam app here, they also have specific installation instructions per each vehicle. So the first step is going to be installing the bracket here. I cleaned off this area around where the mirror mounts with some isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm just going to peel off the sticky backing and then stick this up there just like that. So once you got the mount stuck up there like this, you should be able to just take your dash cam and then line up all of the tabs. Let's see if I can actually do that one-handed. And then bam, snaps up there just like that and fully out of the way. I mean, you wouldn't ever even notice that. And then here we have the cables, which I will run up over the mirror here like that. And then we will need to get to wiring for getting these all routed to get it powered. What I did here was I just used this panel puller tool to get underneath the edge of this plastic cover that went up here to pull the plastic cover off, so that we can use this cover to help hide some of the wires, and we'll route them up here, down and around into the OBD2 port, which is there. Which you can see, this is the GPS here, and then I have the OBD2 power wire here, which will plug in down there, and we'll route it all the way up to the power wire there. According to their instructions, they have a Y cable that should plug in to the rain sensor right here, and then this power plug would plug into that so that you don't have to run any wires anywhere. But for some reason they did not send me that in the box, so I guess we will be installing it with the OE2 cable. So I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in to the power wire right there, and I'm going to start here and then route it all the way down, and then we can zip tie the extra cabling up under the dash with some of the included zip ties. And then we'll move on to mounting the GPS module and also mounting the rear dash cam. So you can see I have the wire. I use a little bit of Gorilla Tape here to help just hold the wire in place, and then I zip tied it up here to some of the existing wires to make sure the power wire was out of the way and not interfering with anything. Then I routed it up above the headliner here and then through the A-pillar. What I would recommend is just take this weather sealing off and route the wire through there with the just use your trim tool here to push the wire through the weather sealing. I made the mistake of taking the A-pillar off and trying to route the wire through here, and there's some clips right here that are an absolute pain in the butt to put back together, so you want to be really careful there. I wouldn't pull the A-pillar off to get it back together, because then you have to disconnect these tethers and take it all the way out and then put the tethers back in and then snap it back in place. So it is not easy, so I would try to refrain from doing that and just do it by the weather seal. And then you just want to make sure to be careful not to cross the wire over the airbag that's in there, and you also want to disconnect your battery so you don't risk messing anything up there. But I was able to get it all routed perfectly out of the way and hidden up inside the metal in here, and then I routed it all the way down, crossed over right here, and then now you can see here is our OBD2 plug wire to power it, and then the OBD2 plug is right there. So all we got to do is plug this in like that, and there it is. Our dash cam is powered. So I'm going to go ahead and zip tie these wires up out of the way so they won't get caught on your foot or anything, and then we'll be able to move on to the next steps. So here it is with all the wires routed. I just popped this little clip out right here and pulled this plastic piece down and was able to route the wires up there. And there's even a slot right here to route wires, which I guess Ford anticipated on people routing things from the OBD2 port up under the dash. So now it is all hidden and very sleek. Still easy to get to. If you need to plug in a code reader, you can easily unplug this and put in a code reader or something. So that is all good to go. Dash cam is powered. Now we are going to work on the rear dash cam and the GPS module. So the GPS module is now mounted. I put this plastic piece back up in here loosely to hold the wires, but I used a little bit more of this tape and zip ties to help wrap up the extra wires in the plug where you plug in the GPS module to the dash cam. I have that routed up in here in an open space, and then the wire runs all the way tucked up in here, and I've just tucked it up along the A-pillar and windshield, and then just stuck the GPS module right here, because they tell you do not mount the GPS module up here or anywhere in here. They say it needs to be out over here in this corner or facing up on the dash where the GPS logo and top is facing up out of the windshield for the GPS system to work correctly. So I have that now stuck there out of the way. Hopefully you won't even notice it. I mean, it looks OEM compared to some of the stuff they have up here already, and it's tucked all the way up. Now it is time to get to the rear dash cam. Now I have this loosely up here. I need to fix, obviously this wire is a little too long, but Me just knowing my mom, I know she's not going to like this little rear dash cam hanging down in the rear view mirror whenever you look, and you can see this little box stuck to the window. So what I'm going to do to better hide it is I'm going to stick it right up here on this plastic piece, and it will just act as an interior dash cam and also face out the back window, so you can see the interior, and so you can also see out the back window. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this plastic piece off with some rubbing alcohol so I can get this mounted, and then I will fix the cable management here, and then we will be good to go ahead and test the dash cam. So the dash cam is all installed, everything is cleaned up and routed. You can see there is the rear dash cam. I just have it mounted facing backwards because my mom wouldn't like a camera hanging down in the rear view, so I have that facing the interior and the back window. You can see there is the GPS module hidden over there. All the wires are hidden, and then all the wires are hidden for powering the camera, which goes down to the OBD2 port down here. So that brings us to the next step, where you will want to check to make sure your camera powers on whenever the car powers on, which mine did. Turn the car on, you'll hear a beep and say starting recording. Then you'll want to go to your Wi-Fi and connect to, it'll be Wi-Fi underscore and then a bunch of letters and numbers. And then you will want to go to the Skycam app that we downloaded earlier for like the installation videos, for example. And you can see, bam, there the camera is. It automatically connected for me. You can see we go back here, and then here it has the dash camera, and then we'll press access dash cam, and then check that out. Super high quality dash cam there, mounted right in the center, perfectly centered, and very good detail. It even tells you your altitude and which direction you're going. It'll tell you your speed. It also has a GPS map, which I'm not going to show you that obviously, but you can see the videos that you've saved. You can take pictures and video. So I will go ahead, that you can see there, I just took a capture and it took a picture, and then we've got all of the camera settings here, like speaker volume. You can change the sound recording. The video resolution is in 4K. It wants to keep starting recording, but you can have the timestamp, exposure, speed unit, wide dynamic range, collision sensing, parking monitor. Then it also will show you your Wi-Fi password there. Mine was just 12345678, and then it also shows you how much you have left on your SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and include some footage driving the car so you can see what the dash cam looks like straight from the footage. But that's pretty much it. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe. Also check down in the description, I will leave a link to where you can get this dash cam from Mangoal. And yeah, it was very easy installation. Yeah, it tells you it's recording every single time, but yeah, I'll go ahead and include that footage so you can see what it looks like. But overall, I would recommend this dash cam. I've installed several in my time, and this was one of the easier ones to install. And I also like how well it fits, nice and flush, and that you can't see where it is. And also has a rear dash cam, a nice GPS module. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out the footage from the dash cam.
So then you're just gonna like staple it around, or you're gonna still be permanent?
Yeah, I'm just gonna staple it around.
Oh my gosh.
She said other people have done it.
Wow, that was